I've featured the amazing world of Gumball so many times on this channel, yet there's still so much gold to be found. Every time I go back to this wonderful cartoon for a new video idea, I discover something else the show did that further proves my theory that the writers of the show must be woke. The more episodes I watch, the more appreciation I gain for its messages and the creativity for how the conflicts resolve themselves. From the meaning of life to curing depression to dealing with bullies, it's pretty clear the show gets really deep at times. The respectable part about it though is the fact that it doesn't try to take itself too seriously. I admire how it's able to take serious topics and make them lighthearted and comedic. Recently, I've discovered 3 episodes that preach the same moral, and that is to respect your family with a forgiving heart. Now, before you throw up in a trash can because of how cheesy that sounded, hear me out because this is an issue that is more common in families than you might think. And family doesn't only include your parents or siblings, it can also include your friends or even a neighbor. The episode, The Heart, centers around Gumball and Darwin showing nothing but love and kindness to their neighbor Mr. Robinson. Yet despite this affection, the grumpy old man talks trash behind their back anyway.
They're so ugly. The little red one's got a face even 2 mothers couldn't love.
Obviously, the boys are hurt by his comments. Now, when I say hurt, I mean they're depressed. Notice the dark clouds hovering over their heads. As the story points out, Mr. Robinson isn't this sad and grumpy for no reason. As we look back about a decade ago, he used to have a much more positive outlook on life. But then one day, all of that joy and happiness was sucked out of him. Now all he is left with are the memories of who he once was, how peaceful his relationship once was, and how enjoyable his life once was. Throughout this story, he tries to win back the hearts of Gumball and Darwin to show them he's not really a bad person. After trying a bunch of strategies that do nothing but add insult to injury, his last resort is approaching them directly and complimenting them. But once again, he unintentionally insults them.
I'm sorry, Mr. Robinson. You don't love us. You just love to hate us. If you can't see the difference for yourself, then your heart is beyond saving.
With the sad realization that all of his efforts have only made things worse, Mr. Robinson starts to break down in front of the boys, but he holds it in to protect himself from his feelings.
If you let you know what in, sooner or later, you get your heart broken. Less expression, more suppression.
This is a toxic mindset that is so easy to believe. Really all it is a strategy we use to protect ourselves from being vulnerable. My theory is that over the years, his heart has been broken so many times to the point where he doesn't know how to express himself anymore. He doesn't know right from wrong, he doesn't know what is or isn't socially acceptable. Which is why he ends up in jail like 3 times in this episode, no joke. But hey, just because you're socially awkward doesn't mean you're not worthy of love. It's easy to believe in that ridiculous notion, especially when social media is constantly judging people for the smallest things. Gumball and Darwin resolve this issue by suffocating him with their love and basically kill him with kindness. Now, if you thought that story was moving, wait until you hear about this next one. In the episode, The Parents, Nicole runs into her mom and dad after not talking to them for over 20 years. The reason for this is because there's some beef between them. So the rest of Nicole's family invites them over for some good old quality time together, if you catch my drift. So what is Nicole's reason for being upset with her parents for so long?
You have always been disappointed in me.
Only because we loved you.
No, because you always had insane expectations for me.
This is a legitimate problem a lot of children go through in real life. They always have to try and make their parents happy, and that can get tiresome. For Nicole, her parents are never satisfied. No matter what she did, no matter how much success she's had.
I left because there was no point in trying to fix something that was beyond repair. I wanted to start over and create something better.
However, Nicole isn't this perfect human-cat hybrid either. She screwed up a lot of times herself, costing her parents time and money. But again, this was all 20 years ago. So while the reasons for the separation may be valid somewhat, 20 years is more than enough time to forget the past and start over. Long story short, it eventually gets to a point where they realize they have no idea why they're still angry at each other. That could be the case for a lot of arguments. If the argument goes on long enough, eventually it loses its meaning, and you realize it doesn't even matter what happened or who's right or wrong. What matters is the present moment. After Gumball sings this heartwarming song about forgiveness, Nicole and her parents kiss and make up.
If it's too hard to forgive, then just give. Let go of the weight that won't let you live.
The last episode I want to talk about is similar to the one with Mr. Robinson, except this time Gumball and Darwin are the ones talking behind someone's back. That's someone being their very own father, Richard. Coincidentally, he shows up at the right place at the right time to listen to this conversation in its entirety. Of course, this breaks his heart and sends him down an instant state of depression. Because of this awkward situation, this pretty much breaks the family apart to the point where everyone stops talking to each other. So then Darwin comes up with a questionable idea to basically intentionally commit suicide so that their dad can save them.
Don't you know people have feelings? He's trying to help us. Well, great job he's doing so far. You are so insensitive. Would it really hurt you to encourage him once in a while?
To his credit, everything goes according to his plan. After Gumball's near-death experience, he makes up with his father and realizes it's important not to let some petty gripe stop him from respecting his family.
Please stop crying, Dad. You'll always be my hero.
In conclusion, just as these 3 episodes demonstrate, respect your neighbor, respect your parents, respect people in general. By focusing on the good in others, it fades away all the other stuff that isn't really that important. Granted, not every argument is something petty and unmeaningful, and I get that. I'm just talking about the ones that are. By understanding these 3 episodes, you'll know whether or not the hate you have for someone is justified. A lot of the time, it's just a simple misunderstanding. In the wise words of Gumball, if it's too hard to forgive, then just give. Let go of all the weight that won't let you live. This was Made to Express. Thanks for watching.